In this video, I want to share with you how to use the Microsoft Word equation editor to write some equations as an example from the simplest one to a little bit of the hardest one. I cannot say it's hard because it's very easy. Once you understand the concept, you can easily write all these equations on your own. So let's say we are starting with this, which is quite simple, and then we'll go with the second one and then the third one, and then we can go to the fourth one, okay, as examples. All right, so the first thing to do is to make sure you're on your Microsoft Word document opened. Okay, create a file, and then we can start with the first one. So let's create another tab just to give a space, and then all you need to do is to start by coming to the top ribbons over here and click on insert, and you can come to equation over here. So this is going to be done using the inbuilt equation editor from Microsoft Word. Okay, so you click on equation and you can see the equation, the editor just kick started. So there are a bunch of things that you can pay attention to. For example, you have a bunch of list of symbols that you can easily reach out to and use it. This is the basic math. When you click on this drop down, you have option to check on Greek letters, letter-like symbols, operators, arrows, and negated relations, scripts, and geometry. You can easily bring in different kind of symbols from this list. For example, Greek letters, if you have them, you can see lowercase, you can see uppercase if you ever need any of them, or you can have arrows where necessary in terms of the equation, or you can have scripts where necessary. You can just check them accordingly. So but for now, we just stay with basic math because what we are dealing with is purely mathematics. And then you have structures over here, from fractions. You can see a bunch of different kind of fractions, to scripts, to exponential equations, you can see them, to radicals, and to integrals. You can all have access to all of these depending on what kind of equation you want to write, what kind of expression you want to write, what does it involve as an operator within that equation. And we have large operators, you have the summations and all that, products and co-products, unions and intersections depending on what you have. And we have different kind of brackets over here, different kind of brackets with separators, single brackets, and we have sign functions within the geometric or trigonometry. You can easily bring in these trigonometric functions, inverse functions, hyperbolic functions, and you have accents as well. So you have the accents, boxed formulas, and overbars and underbars, and something like that. Limits and logs are also here, okay, depending common functions and functions. You have different kind of operators, basic operators, depending on what kind of function or what kind of equation you're trying to create. And you have different types of matrix. You can easily bring in matrix of 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, depending on what kind of matrix you want to bring in. You have e-converts, you have current and professional converts over here, and down here you have latex expressions, and you have equations directly that you can easily have access to on your own, which are inbuilt. Okay, these are binomial theorems, area of circle, expansion of a sum, and Fourier series, and something like that. All these equations are inbuilt and you can easily access them for examples and thereabout, right? So but for this case, let's say we've clicked on the equation and we have the equation editor over here, so we just click on it. Okay, so the first thing is we notice that there is an absolute value at the extreme ends of the equation. So we can come to brackets over here and put the absolute value just like so, and then we can come inside and write the equation. So what we have is 6 squared divided by 2. So you can come to scripts, okay, because it's a simple script, it's a superscript. So you click on it, and then we can come in and say 6 squared, then we can come to normal, and then we can come to divide by 2. We can put division, or you can come over to the symbol sign and put division, then divide by 2, and then you can have 2 brackets with 3 or 2 times 3, and then you can have lastly plus 4. Okay, so you can just close the bracket and you have plus 4. Okay, so this completes the first equation, and it's very easy to write. Once you click out, you have your equation, so you can easily select it. So the next is the second equation, which is a quadratic equation. So we can just write it: x equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So the first thing is to come to the insert again and come to equations, and we start writing immediately. So x is equal to, you can put the equal sign from your keyboard, or you can put it from here. You can see the equal sign over here. Okay, is equal to, now this is a big fraction with small letters, the numerator and the denominator, so we have to put in a big fraction. Okay, so we'll come to the fraction over here, we'll put the first fraction, okay, which is quite big, and then we can go to the numerator. All right, we can come to the numerator and we write minus b, right, plus, now square root of b squared minus 4ac. We can come to, right, so we have square root of, so click and you can see a simple square root over here. We just click on it, we'll come back, and then it's going to be b squared, so it's a superscript, so we'll come to script and we can take in superscript, so we'll go back and put b and then come and put squared from the keyboard, and then we can come to normal, and then we can have minus 4ac, okay, 4ac, just like so from your keyboard, and then we can come to the denominator and put divide by 2a, and then that completes the equation. Okay, you can see it very nicely. You can equally select it and make it a little bit bigger if you so wish. You can see this is the equation. Next is we have the third equation. This is getting a little bit interesting. So the next thing is we come to still the same insert, we come to equation, and then we can start writing immediately. So this is a subscript, okay, xk equal to 1 over n summation from n equals to 0 to n equals to minus 1 of xn exponential, all these functions. So we can just start with the script, but then this time around is a subscript, and we can just go back and type xk. This is a big X, so capital X, and we come down and say write our small k, and we go back to normal by putting clicking or pressing on the arrow sign to the right, and then we put on equal to, then we have our fraction. Okay, so we come to normal fraction. This is 1 over n, so we can come back, click here, 1 divide by n, capital N, and then we can come to normal, and then this is going to be summation from n equals to 0 to minus 1. So we come to sum. This is large operator, so we can put it. Now we have summation and we have limits. Okay, so this is normal summation, then this is one that has limits, so we click on this because we have limits, and then we have the other components of the expression, so we click on this and then we can write. Okay, so from n equals to 0 to the topmost value, which is n equal to minus 1 to n minus 1, and then we can write the rest of the expression, which is now a subscript also, xn. So we'll click on this and we can write small letter x, and then we go to the other box and write n, and then we can put in our exponential, but then this is e raised power of all these gadgets, so we can come over and put in a script but superscript. So we'll go back, the power of I 2 pi k, 2 pi we can get it from here. This is a basic math, so we can see pi over here, you can see it over here, 2 pi k n, and then k, then we have another fraction, n over n. Okay, so we have fraction, which is a normal fraction, and then we can just write small letter n by capital letter n, and this concludes the equation very easily. And you can select everything and you can make it bigger to have a clear understanding of how the equation is going to look like. So I think this kind of makes it interesting, and it depicts everything as it is in the equation. Next, we write the last one, which is this complex. So all you need to do is to start by writing equal to this fraction, and then this integral sign with the limits, and then this exponential sign with the subscript, and then this ds. So all we need to do is to come to same insert and come to equation, and then we can put equal sign and do that from the keyboard as well. Then we put a fraction, 1 divided by 2 pi. We put in fraction, so put in 1 divide by 2 square root of 2 pi, so we come to square root, normal square root, and then we have 2, then we have pi. We can get pi from the basic math like we've just taken pi. Okay, then we'll come to normal, and then we'll put the integral sign, but then this time with limits. Okay, so we'll come to integral over here, and we can see integral with limits and other expressions. The limits are at the top, so we take this, so we can put the limits first. Can click to put the limits, and the limits now is a fraction, negative square root of x divided by 0.3. So all we need to do is to put the first negative first. Once we put negative, then we are going to put in the fraction. All right, so this is the fraction. So we have it square root of x. We come to square root, we take square root, and then we have it square root of x divided by 0.3. And then we finish with the bottom one. Then we'll go to the top limit. Now we have square root of x divided by 0.3. Again, we can copy this if you wish. You can copy this if you wish. You can say Ctrl C, and then you can paste it over there. Once you come here, you can paste, and you can see it to square root of x by 0.3, or you can type again using the same process. Then you can write the rest of the equation, which is e raised to the power of all this. So it's going to be, we have to put in a script, an exponential script. So we put in e, small letter e, then raised to the power this fraction, but then we have to put the negative sign first, then we put the fraction. It's a normal fraction. Okay, so we'll go back. At the top of it, we have another exponential, which is another superscript. So we are going to put in s squared. Okay, s squared divided by 2. Okay, and then we'll go back to the normal mode, and then we'll put ds. Okay, this is an integral sign. Okay, so ds, we are integrating with respect to s. So I think this concludes the equation. You can see it. You just click out, you can select it and make it bigger so that it looks exactly like the one that we have. Okay, you can see it. So this is basically how to write simple equations using the equation editor in Microsoft Word. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.